9 bullets didn't kill him. The music industry tried to finish the job. May 24th, 2000, Queens, New York. Outside his grandmother's house, a man walked up and emptied a gun into Curtis James Jackson III. 9 shots. Hand, arm, hip, legs, chest, face. He survived every single one. And then the real test started, because getting shot was the easy part. What came after, the label dropping him, the industry blacklisting him, radio refusing to play him, that required a different kind of survival altogether. This is the story of how 50 Cent went from bleeding on a sidewalk in South Jamaica, Queens, to building one of the most unlikely empires in entertainment history. Curtis Jackson didn't grow up with a plan B. His mother was a drug dealer, murdered when he was 8 years old, suffocated in her sleep. He moved in with his grandparents, and by 12, he was running with dealers himself, carrying guns, moving product through the same Queens streets that would later make him famous. But even in the middle of all of that, he was writing rhymes, recording in whatever makeshift setup he could access. Not because he had a clear path, because it was the only other thing he was good at besides the streets. By the late 90s, he had caught enough attention to get signed. Columbia Records, a real label, a real budget, a real shot. And then everything collapsed. Columbia dropped him before a single album came out. The reason floating around was the shooting. Too controversial, too much liability attached to his name. Whatever the internal reasoning was, the result was the same. Contract gone, budget gone, support gone. And it didn't stop there. Other labels started keeping their distance. The word had gotten out. He'd been shot. He had beef. He was the kind of artist that brought problems through the door. Once that narrative gets attached to your name in this industry, doors stop opening. His label stopped answering calls. The people who were supposed to be building his career suddenly had nothing to say to him. He was 24 years old, 9 bullet wounds still healing, and an industry full of people pretending he didn't exist. Most people would have stopped there. Curtis Jackson found a different move. This is the part of the story that doesn't get told enough. Locked out of the official system, he started flooding the unofficial one. Mixtapes, free music, burned CDs handed out on street corners. Moving through New York the same way product moves through a drug market, hand to hand. And he wasn't giving away random music. He was giving away beef. Diss tracks aimed directly at Ja Rule, Murder Inc. Content so aggressive, so impossible to ignore that people had to hear it. Radio had already said no, so he went around radio entirely. He reportedly tricked bootleggers into distributing his mixtapes by packaging them like official releases. The same people the industry was trying to fight, street vendors, guys selling CDs out of backpacks, became his distribution network. By the time the official industry noticed what was happening at street level, 50 Cent was already everywhere. The story goes that Eminem heard a 50 Cent mixtape riding in a car, heard it once and immediately knew. M brought it to Dr. Dre. Dre agreed, and together they moved to sign Curtis Jackson before anyone else could get there. The deal was $1 million, but the money wasn't the point. The cosign was the point. Eminem and Dr. Dre, two of the most powerful names in rap, putting their names directly behind the man the industry had just tried to throw away. Get Rich or Die Tryin dropped in February 2003. 872,000 copies in the first 4 days. The fastest selling debut album in history at the time. 12 million copies worldwide. The album the industry said shouldn't exist became one of the best-selling rap albums ever recorded. The label that dropped him got to watch that from the outside. Indie Club didn't just chart, it dominated. #1 for 9 consecutive weeks. Every party, every car, every radio station that had refused to play him 2 years earlier was now running it on rotation like they'd always believed in him. 50 Cent wasn't just successful, he was the entire conversation. And he was smart enough to know it wouldn't last forever. So while the machine was running, he started building things that would survive after the hits slowed down. This is where Curtis Jackson separated himself from almost every artist of his generation. In 2004, he was approached about a partnership with Glaceau, the company behind vitamin water. Instead of taking a standard endorsement deal, flat fee, your face on something, done. He negotiated an equity stake, ownership, a piece of the actual company. He created his own flavor. Formula 50. Most people around him probably thought it was a decent side move, something to do between albums. Then in 2007, Coca-Cola acquired Glasso for $4.1 billion. 50 Cent's stake came out to roughly $100 million after taxes. From a water company, from a deal he made when he was still primarily known as a rapper. It was one of the greatest business moves any musician had ever made. Not because he got lucky, because he understood the difference between getting paid and getting ownership, between being a face on a product and being a piece of a company. Most artists take the check. He took the equity. After Vitamin Water, he didn't slow down. He accelerated. He moved into television production, and the move that changed everything was Power, a crime drama about a New York drug dealer living a double life. Premiered on Starz in 2014, one of the most watched shows in the network's history. Power didn't just succeed, it became a universe. Multiple spin-offs, Power Book 2, Power Book 3, Power Book 4, an entire franchise built from one show. And 50 Cent promoted it like nobody in television had promoted anything before. He turned his social media into a marketing machine, drove viewership in ways traditional TV advertising never could. He understood that his platform wasn't just for music anymore. It was a tool for anything he was selling. The TV empire he built is now worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Built by a man the music industry once tried to make disappear completely. People talk about 50 Cent like the story is about surviving 9 bullets. The shooting is not the story. The story is what he did with the rejection. 9 bullets he survived on toughness and luck, but a label dropping him, an industry blacklisting him, radio shutting him out, that requires something completely different. That requires the ability to look at a system that locked you out and find the door it forgot to close. He found the bootleggers. He found the mixtape circuit. He found Eminem's car at the right moment. He found the Vitamin Water equity clause when everyone else was taking flat fees. He found the TV business when the music slowed down. Every time a door closed, he found a window. 9 bullets didn't make 50 Cent. The industry trying to bury him did. Subscribe to Weirdly Interesting. You already know why you're here. And drop a comment below. What was the smarter move, the Eminem deal or the Vitamin Water equity?